This week's Tales from the Collections is about a discovery I made not long after I started working here at the record office. Myself and one of my colleagues, we were looking at the Known Thieves album, which is one of our most popular items due to the nature of what it records. It's one of the items we are shown as new starters, and it's also my favourite item in the collections here at the record office. I know we shouldn't have favours, but I have a very valid reason for this, which I shall get onto in a moment. Here is the Known Thieves album unboxed. If you order the item in our search room, this is what you receive. It is a large half-leather bound volume containing the names, particulars and details of crimes committed by individuals in the Aston district in Birmingham. It spans 202 pages, and on these pages there is the details of 1,399 individual people. Let's take a look at an example of a page from this album. Here is the first page of the Known Thieves album. This is a good example of the sorts of information that you may find on individual people listed in here. Typically you may find details such as the person's name, any aliases that they may go by, a physical description of the person including their height, eye colour, hair colour, things like that. It also gives details of any marks that they may have, such as tattoos and scars. It also gives you a list of their convictions. Some people may only have one conviction and still be listed in this album, others have quite a long list. I particularly like Charles Apple's description, which is the second person in from the left as you are looking at the page at the moment. He is described at the bottom as a good burglar. Also, as you can see, many of the entries include photographs, which I find make it even more fascinating. The album contains a total of 1,414 photographs. Now you have a bit of background information about the Known Thieves album. Let's move on to the reason why I'm doing this presentation for you today. As me and my colleague were flicking through the pages of the Known Thieves album, we got to this page and the name I've highlighted, Harry Taylor, jumped out at me. This name appears in my family tree, but obviously with such a common name I didn't think too much into it at the time. But when I looked more into it, using the details in his description listed here, I actually found quite a lot of the details matched the Harry Taylor in my family tree. This is actually my great-grandfather that's listed here. We knew he was a bit of a colourful character from tales heard from the family, but we could never find any evidence of this until now. Let's take a look at his entry in a bit more detail. Here is a close-up of Harry Taylor's entry in the Known Thieves album. As you can see, it states that he was born in 1874 and he was 5'5" with a fresh complexion and brown eyes. Surprisingly to me as well, it lists that he also has some tattoos, which include his wife's name, Florrie Gwinnett, and a basket of flowers. I should have guessed from the photograph really, as my grandfather is the spitting image of him. He's listed in this album for stealing 5 goldfish. I have no idea what he was planning on doing with the goldfish, but he was sentenced in Aston in February 1900 to 1 month. Through my own research, I've been able to find that he married Florence Gwinnett in 1895 in Birmingham, and by the time of the 1911 census they had had 8 children, 4 of which had not survived. They had a further 2 children after this, and he's also listed as a rag and bone man, which is a possible explanation as to why he stole the goldfish, but we'll probably never know for certain. He was also a military man. He served in both the Boer War and the First World War alongside some of his sons. He did pass away in 1933 and Florence remarried. The Known Thieves album has helped me to research more into Harry Taylor's life, and it's also provided me with something that I didn't have before, which is a photograph of him. So now, whenever anyone asks me what my favourite item is in the collections at the record office, this album is always my answer, and this story is the reason why.